You have a very heavy scene making the reveal after we've just seen the camera footage.
Oh,
When you were before I get to it, when you were filming this,
yeah.
was it pretty crystal clear how powerful and important a show this was going to end up being when it was in the can?
Yeah, I cried my eyes out. I don't think they got a good shot of that.
Yeah.
But Teryl Rothery
Yep.
uh, is a good friend of mine. She's my agent's wife.
Okay.
And while talking about her dying, it was brutal.
Right.
So once again, real emotion counts for so much more than anything you can pretend, right?
Yeah. You
So I just leaned into it.
you come into that room. O'Neill's alive. The mission report's just been declassified. Daniel's tape is put into the tape player, and
Right.
we see her die.
Yeah.
And your line, O'Neill's alive. So is Simon Wells. Dr. Fraiser didn't
Yeah.
make it. Oh my
Another good. Yeah.
God! You can tell
Yeah.
like they all loved Fraiser. They all loved her. She was
Yeah.
responsible for all of them.
Yeah.
Pulling that line off, man, you nailed it. Because you could have played it a
Thank you.
hundred different ways.
Well, I had it. I had a sincere commitment to it, exactly the way I said it, and I meant it because obviously I just imagined my friend being dead. That wasn't hard. Um, what's interesting about it is that there's always a discussion about what we call blocking,
Yeah.
and that's about where you physically are. And
Yep.
then there's the handling of props and stuff like that. Well, understanding what you understand about the mental commitment of acting, do you want to take some of that brain power away and put it into where you stand or having an actor asshole step on your foot or you don't want to give that up. You know what I'm saying though, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to give that up. So in that scene, I was supposed to exit the other way in the room. And we did 3 takes on it. And Andy Makita just put his hand on the script supervisor and just said, okay, we'll make it work.
You couldn't get through it.
I couldn't leave what I was feeling
Uh,
enough to remember my blocking in that moment. Maybe if we did it 3 or 4 more times, I would have got it. But in that moment, I was so committed to the emotion that I had of my friend dying. Fuck, sorry. This is what happens to you when you become an actor. You got no shut off valve. Um,
yeah.
anyway, you know what I'm saying.
The um the blocking is irrelevant when it's real.
It is, because the directors picked up a way, decided a way that the action has to move in order for him to splice it to the next shot. So all Andy had to do in that moment was think, I know somewhere else we can go. We can cut to the picture on the wall. We can cut to a picture of her. We can cut back to this, whatever.
Yeah, he's
And,
got all the
and
pieces moving in his head. Yeah.
yeah, he probably had like 6 or 7 ideas in a moment. He thought that was great. This is a perfect take. We're not going to mess that up by trying it again. Moving on.
That's right. Yeah.
That's it.
You guys made a 2-hour episode of television that many fans to this day, have trouble watching.
Oh,
And they have to get emotionally prepared for it if they do. Some of them won't even watch it.
really?
I know Teryl has never seen it. And I think that that's a shame because I think that it's her finest hour.
It's a
She won't
brilliant
budge.
piece of work. Yeah.
Yeah. And I can understand that. I'll never forget her saying, yeah, Rob called her. She was in her kitchen. And she's told this story a couple of times, but Rob says on
Oh,
the phone, how would you feel if we killed you off?
yeah.
And Teryl
Yeah.
was like, how would I feel? How do you think I would feel, Robert?
Yeah.
She loved Janet. But you have to understand, the show was done. It was
Yeah.
done. Atlantis was going to take
Yeah.
over. There was no seasons 8 through 10. So
No.
I understand the choice that was made. But the choice that was made a meaningful, impactful moment that has lasted since the show's run and
Yeah.
just clarified how important the work that these people do is to protecting all of us. She gave herself for that airman. We don't leave our people behind. We go out there and we bring them back.
Well, you got to know
their remains.
Yeah, and you got to know that we, the actors, when you have something that's important, and if you're going to do a good job on it, you are, just like you just said about Teryl, you are feeling that emotion.
That's right.
It was great that lady helped me play Halloween when I was the torturer guy, because it just had a perfect parallel and it worked, right? Yeah. But in most cases, you are feeling those feelings. And sometimes it can be horrifically painful.
That's right. That's right. I think that's the transcendent power of this medium. That's when it truly becomes art. It's not just content. You were saying that the communication that you had with Saul, as interesting as it was, left you with something that you were able to exercise later in Smallville. Tell me about that.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you about it. But first of all, I'll tell you where Saul and I parted ways is Martin Scorsese, because I don't like Martin Scorsese's directing style, and he did. So you just get something. I'll tell you a funny story before. Can I tell you a funny story?
Of course.
Before we move on? Okay,
please.
This is one that I always wanted to tell, because I've told you that I'm autistic, right?
No, you didn't say that. You said you had social anxiety.
Oh, I'm autistic.
Okay.
Okay. So one of the things about autistic people is, I won't go into a big long spiel about it, but autistic people out there are going to tell you, is that when you have conversations, like when you and I finish this interview, for example, I'm going to relive it, and I'm going to feel pain about how I said things that I should have said differently. There's just no reason in that. There's no way you can get away from it. Because we know from experience, that's why we make good actors. We're always faking who we actually are. But we know from experience that every day when we go out and we say stuff, we often say stuff that, holy shit, we just want to reel that sucker back in right now.
But it's too late. It's out there.
It's too late. It's gone. Yeah. And my family will tell you many, many stories about the thing. My boys think it's friggin' hilarious. They call it dadisms. And they call up and they say, remember that time? No, I don't want to remember that time.
But anyway, it was painful for me. Thanks a lot, kid.
It was pain. Exactly. It still hurts. I got wounds.
Yeah. No, you have a visceral reaction to it. It's business that you haven't digested all these years later.
That's right. I haven't dealt with it. Yeah. So I got Andy Makita, who I've known for a couple of decades. I think he's one of the nicest, smartest, most wonderful people there are on the planet. And he invites me to come and make this show. And I was so happy to do it. And Bob Cooper I met, he was a super nice guy, let me talk to him about the script, and he was changing the scripts, and we're looking at it and getting involved in ways that I never had before. They had to get special permission. Andy had to get special permission. He himself made the phone calls for me to have a mustache, because you're not allowed to have a mustache in the United States Air Force.
Didn't know that.
Yes. I have a mustache in that show.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah.
Andy liked
Navy had it. I assumed you could have it. Has anyone watched Top Gun? Goose? Hello?
I don't know. Those apparently the United States Air Force at the time this was shot did not allow facial hair of any kind.
Yeah. And the Air Force is sponsoring the program.
Yes. Yeah, they endorse it. Yeah.
Yes.
We get to use all sorts of language and shots of their exteriors and stuff like that. Anyway, what were we talking about before? Bob Cooper. So Bob Cooper is unlike any writer, typical writer anyways, on set. And he's stretched out like this, and he's writing, and the stuff's coming in from Fallujah or wherever, and he's working on this stuff, and then
he's supine? He's on his back?
Well, he's lying back in a chair.
Oh, okay, he's in a chair.
He's like this. He's in a chair and he's lying way back. His legs stretched out. He's handing pages and he's talking to Saul. It's just crazy. Anyway, so Stargate had been around for a long time by then. What were we, season 7?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So me, the arrogant bastard, you're always planning what kind of shows you want to work on. You're trying to steer your career. Yeah. Later on, you realize you really didn't have much control at all. But at the time, you think you're making decisions and you have some kind of control. So if you can go get the DVD that they have for season 7, and it has what do you call that track when the director and somebody are talking on? Yeah, the commentary track. Okay, listen to it. When Andy and Bob are talking about me, because Bob will tell you, and this is true because it was one of those things where as soon as I said it, I just wanted to reel that sucker back in. I'm walking by him. I'm reading some of the pages because I needed to see it too, because it was between Saul and me, right? Saul had most to say, but I always got to see the pages as he wrote them. So he handed them to me.
You're his handler.
Yeah. So I'm reading it and I'm making decisions quite quickly as I'm walking away. And I said, geez, Bob, this is good. Trying to be complimentary, trying to be a nice guy, right? Should have stopped there. And I said, he kind of nodded thanks or something like that. And I said, if I'd known your show was this good, I would have auditioned for it sooner.
That's funny. That's funny.
And on the commentary, he says to Andy, he says, I think he was trying to compliment me.
Thanks for watching this clip from Dial the Gate. You can find the full live stream shows on our YouTube channel or visit dialthegate.com for the complete schedule. See you on the other side.